Our next set of contrasting imperfect and preterite is describing, and we're going to focus just for a second only on feelings. So whenever we describe, we're using imperfect, and feelings is definitely used most of the time as a description. However, we are allowed to use preterite for feelings when we talk about them as a reaction. So not to describe how someone is feeling, but to express how somebody all of a sudden started feeling because of something that happened to them, like as a reaction. So let's look at the example sentences. We have Marta se cayó y estuvo furiosa. Okay, I'm not just saying that she was furious as a description, I'm saying that she fell and falling made her furious. So she was furious because she fell. Antonio estuvo desanimado cuando perdió. I'm not just saying that Antonio was discouraged, I'm saying that he became discouraged when he lost. With the imperfect, notice how different the sentences are. Marta estaba furiosa. Llamó a su novio para gritarle. Describing that Marta was furious. It's just describing. It's not as a reaction. The reaction is she called her boyfriend to yell at him. Okay? Antonio perdió la carrera. Estaba muy desanimado y triste. Se fue a su casa. So Antonio lost the race. He was discouraged and sad, and he went home. And you can see how you're just describing how he felt. It is because he lost the race, but you're not describing it like you did on the preterite sentence. It says, Antonio estuvo desanimado cuando perdió. Like he became discouraged because he lost. With the other one, he lost the race, that's the main action. And then I'm describing he was feeling sad and discouraged. And then we have another completed action with he went home. Okay. We also use preterite to conclude a story. And sometimes this can be confusing because it might be a sentence that you're like, I thought I was supposed to use imperfect for that. And sometimes that's true, but if it's at the very end of a story, a paragraph, if it's concluding it and ending it, you can use preterite. And then with imperfect, again, it's to describe. So if we're describing a person, a place, if we're saying what the weather was like, if we're saying what people liked, what the date was, what time it was, how old someone was, what somebody wanted to do or planned to do, all kinds of descriptions are going to be imperfect. So here we have a couple examples. If we're telling a big, long story and it ends with, fue un verano fantástico. We're using preterite because you're not just describing the summer, you're concluding that because of everything you just told, the summer was fantastic. Okay? Or same with if you told a whole long story and you end with fue divertido. I know fue divertido is describing it, but it is the concluding statement of everything you just said, so you would use preterite. With imperfect, you're always going to be left with that ... feeling at the end. You're going to read the sentence and you're going to be like, okay, and what else? Okay, so what more? So things like, Juan era alto y simpático. I'm just describing and I'm waiting for you to actually tell me and what about Juan. Okay, la casa estaba en Irvine. Nothing's happening. You're just describing that the house was in Irvine and I want to know more. With weather, hacía frío, llovía, había sol, and there's going to be more coming. With dates, era el lunes, el 10 de octubre. Eran las 12. You're saying what time it was. Francisco quería comer porque tenía hambre. He hasn't done anything. He just wanted to eat because he was hungry. You're just describing. Or Marcela tenía que hacer la tarea. She had to do homework, but you don't know if she did it yet or not. It's not a completed action.